What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel, and today I will be showcasing my 2022 Hot Toys collection. I have been collecting for about 2 years now, and these are basically all of the figures I have accumulated over that time period. I have sold a few, and then some are still in the box just for space reasons, but this is the majority of my collection. Starting off the collection, over here we have the first Detolf, which I would consider to be the main portion of the Star Wars display. These are basically all Star Wars figures. So up top here we have the Mando Season 1 shelf, I guess you can call it. To the left we've got the OG Beskar Mandalorian. Definitely my favorite out of the two Mandalorian versions. I love the rugged look. It looks so good. And then we have the newer Mandalorian. I still like this version, but definitely not as much as the older one. Got little Grogu down there. But yeah, I definitely prefer the older version, but these are definitely both great figures. And then over here we have the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. I'm really glad I picked this one up. I'm pretty sure it's out of stock basically everywhere now, and I can only imagine the price going up since the Book of Boba Fett episodes. Moving down, we have the Clone Wars shelf, I guess you can call it. This might be one of my favorite shelves in the whole collection because I'm such a huge Clone Wars fan, but we've got Captain Rex right here. Definitely one of my favorite figures in the whole collection, honestly. I actually have two of these. One is still in the box, but yeah, this figure is fantastic. Then we have Ahsoka, which I just got last week. This one was probably my highest anticipated figure of the year. And it turned out great. Besides the little pegs that you put the lightsabers into, I hate how they did that. I wish it was just magnetic. But regardless, these two look absolutely phenomenal together. And then moving down here, we have my Boba Fett shelf right here. We've got both. This is the 2-pack, so we've got the, I guess you'd call it the robed Boba from The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba. And then you've got the armored up Boba from The Mandalorian. Here's a hot take. I actually think I prefer the robed version of Boba versus the armored up version. They're both really good at just the head sculpt. It is like scarily realistic. One of the best Hot Toys have done. And the fact that you get the busted up Stormtrooper helmet with it, that is just, it's an awesome accessory. I'd love to see more of that. Another thing I think they did really well with this 2-pack is that the inside of the helmet, the Boba helmet, is actually like completely detailed and sculpted and stuff like that. So that is a really cool addition. I wish they did that with all the helmets, but maybe in the future they'll continue to do that. Moving on down, we have the solo version of Darth Maul, and I guess here's another hot take. This is my favorite version of Maul that Hot Toys have done. I don't know exactly why. I just think I like the look of this Maul better. I have the Phantom Menace Maul, but the detail in this one just, in my opinion, is far superior. You have the fully sculpted legs with the, you know, the wiring and stuff in there. So this version is just incredible, I think. And again, the head sculpt is really well done. I don't think I'm going to get the Clone Wars version of Maul unless they change the sculpt, because from the promo images, I think it's just the same sculpt. So I don't need two of the same head sculpts there. If they change it up, then I'll probably end up picking it up. And then he is flanked by two of the Coruscant Guard clone troopers. Again, I'm a huge Clone Wars fan, so if they make clones, then you better believe I'm getting two of them. Moving down to the last shelf in the Star Wars Detolf, we have the Rise of Skywalker display with Kylo right there, and then Rey as well. I didn't love the movie. I thought the movie was total nonsense, but the figures are really well done. And the head sculpt on the Kylo is just one of the best I think Hot Toys have ever done. It looks incredible. So both really good figures. It's just that I don't love the movie, but you know. Then I got some custom replica lightsabers from numerous different companies. But moving over here, this is not Hot Toys, but this is the Lego AT-AT, which I just finished building like 4 days ago. I picked this up from the Lego store, and this thing is massive in person. Like, it's hard to explain like how big this thing is. It's crazy. And then I actually filled it up with 40 snowtroopers, little minifigures there. That took a ridiculously long amount of time, but I think the result is pretty cool, even though when it's all covered up, you can't even tell. Here I've got some more Star Wars figures I just couldn't fit in the Detolf. We've got Anakin there, which was actually my first ever Hot Toys figure. So it's still holding up really well and still one of my favorites. And then we've got 2 of the 501st Troopers back there. I might get more of them just because, like I said, I'm such a huge Clone Wars fan, but we'll see. We've got Attack of the Clones Yoda down there, Commander Cody, which, along with Rex, just 2 of probably my favorite figures in the whole collection. They just look so good. And then we've got Obi-Wan there in his signature pose. Cannot wait for the Obi-Wan show. Hopefully we get an updated Obi-Wan. Up here I've got Pennywise. I did not plan on getting this figure, but after seeing some of the pictures after it was released, I couldn't help myself. It looks really, really good in person. Here we have what I would consider the majority of the endgame display. Starting from the left here, we have the Mark 85, by far my favorite Iron Man armor in probably the entire collection. Like the paint on this thing is just, it's incredible in person. It looks so unbelievably good. And then you've got Endgame Thor in the back. Not one of my favorites, but you kind of need it to complete the Trinity here. And then we got Nebula in the back with Endgame Thanos. This is the non-battle damaged version. I actually prefer this quite a bit to the battle damaged version. And then down here we have Mark 85 battle damaged. Another contender for one of my favorite figures in the whole collection. This thing, it looks incredible in person. Like the details of the paint and just the battle damage, it looks really, really good. Another thing Hot Toys needs to do more of is give us these, I guess you call them diorama style bases. They're more realistic and, they fit much better than just the generic hexagon, whatever, oval shaped display bases. These are so much better, and that's a big reason why I basically don't use any of the display bases unless the figure really needs it to stand. Over on the right side, this is my Marvel Center Detolf. So these are mainly Marvel figures. Besides on the top here, we have an Arkham Batman. I completely forgot the name of this figure, but the game was fantastic, and I think this is the best looking Batman from the game, so I picked this one up. And then we have Batgirl as a companion piece, again from the game, which is just a fantastic game. Moving down here, we have the classic suit Spider-Man, which may be my favorite Spider-Man figure in the whole collection. The colors on this thing, they pop so much in the light. So this is maybe my favorite Spider-Man figure. I don't know, it's so hard to tell. There have been so many good ones. And then behind him, we've got Venom, which also came out surprisingly well. Not a huge fan of the movie, but this figure is just, it's undeniably good with the paint apps and all that. So below that, we sort of have the Avengers 1 display. We've got the Mark 7 here, which is probably my second favorite Iron Man armor. This was also one of my first figures in the collection. This one is just timeless in my opinion. It looks really good. And then we have the Avengers 1 cap, which I also got somewhat recently. This one's good. Not my favorite cap, but still a cool figure. And then we've got, this is Endgame Black Widow in the back. I don't have the Avengers Black Widow, but I will be getting the Avengers Loki and putting him in this shelf. And then down here, we have kind of a mix match display. We've got Infinity War / Guardians of the Galaxy 2 Gamora. I think the Gamora head sculpt is very, very underrated. I think it looks incredible. One of the best head sculpts, I think, that Hot Toys has ever done. Then we have Infinity War Strange right here. Another great figure. I did break something off this figure, so comment below if you can tell what it is, because yeah, right when I was unboxing this thing, I broke something. And then back here we have Star-Lord from Infinity War. I'm not a huge fan of the head sculpt on this figure, so I leave it off and just put the masked sculpt on. And then on the very bottom we have the Mark 47, which is another Iron Man armor. I'm a huge fan of it as well. Probably not as good as the other two, but definitely a cool looking armor. And then we have the War Machine from Infinity War. And then over here on my desk, we have Mysterio from Far From Home. This figure is, again, really well done, especially in certain lighting. This figure, it looks fantastic. One of the biggest surprises, I think, from Hot Toys. Up here, we've got the Scout Trooper on the speeder bike. The speeder bike is way bigger than I thought it would be. I had a different place I was going to put him, but I just ended up putting him up here where he's basically a perfect fit. Moving over to the last portion of my collection, we have a Spider-Verse display. Up in the front here, we have Miles from the PS5 game. This figure looks really, really good. Behind him, we have the 2099 suit, I think it is. Again, from the PS4 game. We've got the Scarlet Spider with the newspaper from the classic suit, which I think looks really good. And then we've got Gwen from Into the Spider-Verse. I'm excited to get Miles whenever they end up releasing him. And then over to the right, we have the Tom Holland Spider-Man from Far From Home with his mask off right there. And then we've got the homemade suit from Homecoming, I think. Or no, Far From Home, because he has the drone. He's basically the only Spider-Man figure I have in a dynamic pose, and that's just because of the material. I really don't want to be risking it with any of the other figures, but I know this material right here, this fabric, can handle it. And then we have the, the inside-out suit from No Way Home. This figure I got before the movie came out, and it's fine. I'm probably going to end up letting it go if I'm going to be honest. It's not one of my favorites. And then behind that, we have the Lego Daily Bugle, which is one of my favorite all-time Lego sets. The amount of detail in this set is incredible. This one looks really cool with the Spider-Verse display. So there it is, my March 2022 Hot Toys collection tour / update. I'm probably gonna do more of these as the collection changes over time, but as of right now, this is what I'm working with. And then I've got more figures, in boxes because I am quite literally out of space completely. So wish me luck.